Good morning students. In this session we are going to see the chapter 3. We have seen about the last session process of an MBO. Before that we have seen about the features, objectives of MBOs and meaning and definitions of an MBO. In the process of MBO we have seen some of the points, just we are going to recall it what you have seen. We have seen about that defining the organizational objectives and goals of each section and fixing the key result areas. அதாவது ஒரு process MBOன்றது achieve பண்றதுக்கு என்னென்னலாம் process steps அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு this we have seen about. Again I will say about the setting up the subordinate objectives for the target. That is, a target refers to the goals for an individual only, we will say as a target. So the objectives of each subordinate or individuals are fixed. It is preferable to fix the from lower level to the higher level for the discussions. So the subordinates and the superiors, they should have the opportunity to communicate with each other for the smooth running of the to set the goals. And next is about the matching of the resources with objectives. நம்ம கையில என்ன விஷயம் இருக்குதோ அதை வந்து அந்த கோல்ஸ் அச்சீவ் பண்றதுக்கு அது ஈஸியா இருக்கணும், யூஸ்ஃபுல்லாகவும் இருக்கணும். ஸோ objectives are framed on basis of an availability of the resources. Availability of the resources is that the material, men and other things available in the businesses. So technical personnel or as scarce raw material only will say as this. Availabilities of an resources are not adequately available. The objectives of an organization are changes accordingly. Of course, that is objectives are set means அதுக்கு ஏத்த மாதிரி நம்ம கிட்ட business run பண்றதுக்கு தேவையான things இருக்கணும். அப்படி இல்லனா நம்மளோட goals ஈஸியா achieve பண்ண முடியாது. So there is a need for matching resources with objective. Next, available resources should be properly allocated and utilized. Next is the periodical reviews and meetings. After setting up these objectives, we have to review the things with the meeting. Plus positive things and negative things, what we have crossed towards this achieving this project. So superiors and subordinates, you already know who is a superior, higher authority. Subordinate is nothing but the lower level of authority workers. They should hold a meeting periodically and they should discuss the progress of its objectives, and the standards, the fixed standard may be changed but conditions may not be changed. The periodical review meeting is held during the period of set of achieving the objectives. அதான் அந்த வேலையை முடிச்சதுக்கு அப்புறமா இந்த ஒரு மீட்டிங் ரிவ்யூஸ் போட்டோம்னா we can able to analyze the positive and negative things. Next is the appraisal. Appraisal, you know, it is an appreciation. This appreciation can be in the form of an remuneration, salary மூலியமா இல்லனா promotions of a person only, will say as an appraisal. So at the end of fixed period for achieving this objective, there should be a discussions between the superior and subordinate. So there must be a coordinal relationship between the superior and subordinate to achieve the objectives. ரெண்டு பேருடைய ஸ்மூத் ரன் ஃபங்க்ஷனிங் இருந்தாதான் ஒரு கோலை ஈஸியா அச்சீவ் பண்ண முடியும். And they should have a discussion with each other without any intermediate. And this discussion is led with subordinates' performance against the specified standard. The superior should take a corrective action. If it is going to be anything to be a wrong means, he must take steps to correct those situations. And the superior should identify the reasons for the failure. This is very important for the business. And the problems faced by subordinate should be identified and the steps should be taken to tackle of the problem. Next is the reappraisal of an objectives. Organization is a part of a dynamic world. There are a lot of changes with the short period. அதாவது நம்ம ஒரு விஷயம் செய்யும் போது ஒரு கோல்ஸ் அச்சீவ் பண்ணும்போது இருக்கிற சிச்சுவேஷன்ஸ் வேற, when we are doing in process அதை நடைமுறைக்கு எடுத்துட்டு வரும்போது வேற விதமா ஏதாவது ஒரு சேஞ்சஸ் வரலாம். So we have to adopt our changes, we have to move according to the business. So survival and growth of your modern business largely depends upon the changing conditions. So changing conditions refers to the changing technology only, we'll say as a changing conditions. So top management executive should review the organizational objectives. Why? Because according to the changing situation. So these are the process of an MBO. I'll once again repeat the point. Defining the organizational goals, fixing, setting subordinates, and matching resources, periodical review, appraisal, and reappraisal of an objective. So this is the process of MBO. What are the advantages and disadvantages of MBO? What is the main advantages in this means? Here, level of management under MBO and his commitment ensures hard work to achieve them. Of course, it's true that is the superiors, they communicate towards the subordinates because they makes an initiative to achieve the objectives, helps the managers to understand their role in their organization and needs for a planning and appreciates the planning. Next is the participative subordinates are also involved in goal setting. அதாவது ஹையர் அத்தாரிட்டிஸ் மட்டுமே டிசிஷன்ஸ் எடுக்காம லோயர் அத்தாரிட்டி சபார்டினேட்ஸ் இதில் சேர்ந்து வேலை பார்க்குறாங்க. நெக்ஸ்ட், டிபார்ட்மெண்ட் டஸ் நாட் ஒர்க் அக்ராஸ் ப்ராப்பர்ஸ் வித் அனதர் டிபார்ட்மெண்ட். இன் அனதர் வேர்ட்ஸ் டிபார்ட்மெண்ட் ஈச் டிபார்ட்மெண்ட் ஆப்ஜெக்டிவ்ஸ் ஆர் கன்சிஸ்டன்ஸ். அதாவது ஒவ்வொரு டிபார்ட்மெண்ட்டுக்கு என்னென்ன வேலை செய்யணும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லி தர்றது. அதாவது என்பிஓ வந்து ஒரு அட்வான்டேஜஸ், அதாவது மொத்தமாக சொல்லலை, what other departments should do. They are setting a goals for each department and evaluation of performances is made and criteria for performance, take a corrective actions, delegations of authority is easily done with the help of an delegation means specifying of an authority, delegation of authority we have seen it in the management first lesson, and motivates the workers by job enrichment and makes them job meaningful. Responsibility of the worker is fixed through an MBO. So these are the, and another point is that decision is taken by the management very quickly. Reason is that each worker knows the, again see here, each worker. So individual importance is given for the MBO than for the group person. So taking decisions and does not oppose of any decisions. So these are the advantages of an MBO. Next, what are the disadvantages? Actually, advantages here refers to mainly MBO concentrates on the individual person, superior's authority, and it involves the subordinates work and it is appreciated. This is the main concept. MBO is a very advantage. So disadvantage அப்படி பார்க்கும்போது it fails to explain the philosophy. What is that philosophy? What for we are doing this work? What is the reason behind this work? அதெல்லாம் எதுவுமே சொல்ல மாட்டாங்க. நம்ம just they are saying we have to achieve the goal, they are saying it. That is, they do not know how MBO works, what is MBO, why is MBO necessary, how participants can benefit the by process. அதாவது எதுவுமே தெரியாம அவங்க வேலை பார்க்கறது, பிசினஸ்க்காக வேலை பார்க்குறாங்க. But in a time consuming process, because much time is needed by senior people by framing the MBO. அதாவது senior people வந்து அந்த கான்செப்டை ஃப்ரேம் பண்ணி subordinate சொல்றதுக்கு it takes more time, heavy expenditure and frustrated over MBO, they requires heavy paperwork. எப்படி பண்றதுக்குன்னு they needed so many documents to be used. So it is a failure, they are saying it. Next is that it is a short term objective that does not consider the long term. அந்த நேரத்துக்கு என்ன பண்ணணும்னு சொல்றது MBO சொல்றது. It does not say about the long run. And status of subordinate is necessary for the proper setting. This is not possible in the MBO. Next, it is a rigid one where it cannot be changed. Can be changed according to the circumstances, external or the internal. If it is not done, the planned result cannot be obtained. Yes, once the MBO is set means we have to change according to the situation. If அந்த situations கேட்கிற மாதிரி நம்ம மாற முடியலனா the MBO concept becomes a waste. So it is a disadvantage. And the objectives are set without considering the available resources. ஆமாம், பிஸ்னஸில் என்ன ரிசோர்ஸஸ் அவைலபிள் இருக்கோ அதுக்கேற்ற மாதிரி தான் நம்ம செட் பண்ணணும். ஆனால் எம்பிஓஸ் வந்து அப்படி செட் பண்ண மாட்டாங்க. ஃபஸ்ட்டு கோல்ஸை செட் பண்ணிவிட்டு தென் ஒன்லி தே வில் see the available resources. So they are saying this is the biggest disadvantages. Next, we are moving to the other concept, MBE, that is management by exemption. Exemptions. Exceptions, you know what is meant by exemption means. I'll say you the literal meaning, please note it down. A person or thing that is excluded from a general statement or does not follow a rule. We will say as you are exempted. நீ தனித்துவம் அப்படின்னு சொல்றதுல அதுதான் exempted. And I'll say the example for an MBE. நான் MBE ன்னு சொல்றது exemptions சொன்னா exemption ஒரு ரூல்ஸ்ல இருந்து தனியா ஃபாலோ பண்ணாம தனியா இருக்கிறது தான் நம்ம exemptions அப்படின்னு நம்ம சொல்றோம். So best example I'll quote it. Just note it down. MBE is similar to the vital signs monitoring system in hospitals critical care units, that is like an ICU. I am saying the example for MBE. When one of the patient vital signs goes outside the range programmed into a machine, an alarm sound and staff runs to the rescue. So if the machine is quiet, it is assumed that the patient is stable and they will receive only the regular staff attention. அதாவது ஒரு விஷயம் ஒழுங்கா இருந்துச்சுன்னா எந்த attention தனியா ஏதாவது ஒரு மாற்றங்கள் இருந்துச்சு அதுதான் நம்ம என்ன சொல்றது will say as an exemptions. Next is that management by exemption is the employees empowerment and management style, policy or philosophy wherein managers intervene only with their employees fails to meet their performance stand or when goes wrong. The idea behind it is that management attentions will be focused only on those areas where the action is to be taken. ஒழுங்கா செய்யற வேலைக்கு பிரச்சனை இல்லை, செய்ய முடியாத வேலைகள் இருக்கும் போதுதான் அந்த exemptions அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு ஒரு வார்த்தை வருது. So the actions to be taken for those the work is not done. So if the person are performing as expected, the manager will take no action. MBE normally involves only for the substantial delegations by the manager of his team. So this is the best example for an exemptions. Then now let us move to the concept. Here what we are saying is management is the important principles of managerial control suggested by the classical writers on management. It is based on the belief that attempts to control everything result in controlling nothing. It is a style of a business that focuses on identifying and handling the cases that deviates from the norm. Just note it down, that deviates from the norms. ஒழுங்கா போயிட்டு இருக்கு, ஏதோ ஒரு மாற்றங்கள் வருது, அந்த ரூல்ஸை ஃபாலோ பண்ணாம தனியா ஒரு விஷயம் போகுது அப்படின்னு சொன்னதா அப்போதான் அந்த MBE exemption concept யூஸ் பண்றாங்க. For example, the production manager establishes quality control standard wherein 5 defects per 100 unit produced are permissible. ஒரு 100 யூனிட் ப்ரொடியூஸ் பண்ணா 5 யூனிட் டிஃபெக்டிவா இருந்துச்சுன்னா பரவாயில்ல. But actually, so long number of defects does not exceed 5, the superiors or the subordinates will handle the problem. Wherever there is more than 5 defects, the matter will be reported to the production manager. I think you would have been very clear with this example. If the problem persists within the code, there is no problem. If it is exceeds, means we have to take the action. So MBE as a both general, both business applications and business intelligence. So cases are deviates from the normal behavior and from the unique manner according to the human interfaces. Next, same thing what you have learned in the MBO, here you are going to learn process of MBE. Similarly, it is a set objectives of norms with periodical estimated, and these performance are assessed and get equated for the next the deviations get analyzed. When in insignificant deviations, no action is required and the senior manager can concentrate on other matters. If actual performance deviates, means then issues needs to be passed to the senior manager where exemption has occurred. Note it down. And finally, the aim is to solve the exemptions equally. தவறு நடந்திருந்தா அந்த தவறு திருத்திக்கிட்டு அதுக்கான what are the steps to be taken only, it's known as an exemptions. So what are the advantages of this MBE? Means it saves the time of a manager because they deal only with the exemptional matters only. அதாவது எதெல்லாம் தப்பா இருக்கோ அது மட்டும் தான் பார்க்குறாங்க இந்த MBE-ல. So the solutions are taken according to that. So routine problems are left to the subordinates. கரெக்டாக இருந்துச்சுன்னா no action is taken. If it is going to be wrong, they are going to take an actions. Next, it focuses on managerial attentions, managerial problem. As a result, there is utilization of managerial talents and the energy. Next is that top management concentrate on strategic decisions. Very important. It is a one word. Top management concentrates on strategic decision. Operational decisions are left to the lower level. பெரிய விஷயம் எல்லாத்தையுமே they are saying it is an operational decisions. And strategic decisions and operational decisions, strategies taken by the top and the operational decisions are left to the lower management, and there is an increase of span of control. Next is that informations from unimportant one. So all the informations are discussed to the all the information are not discussed to the subordinates. எல்லா விஷயமும் subordinateக்கு சொல்லிட்டு இருக்கிறது இல்ல. MBA எது தவறு பண்றாங்களோ அதை மட்டும் தான் ஸ்பெசிஃபை பண்ணி they are focusing upon the subordinates. So it is for the managers to review past history and study related business data to for identifying the deviations. Next comes your management alerts the opportunities and threats by identifying the critical problems. ஒரு பிஸ்னஸ்ல வந்து நம்ம ப்ளஸ்ஸையே பார்த்துட்டு இருக்கக்கூடாது, நெகட்டிவ் திங்ஸும் சேர்த்து பார்க்கணும். அப்போ தான் வந்து they can able to move over the business to the large extent. So identifying the problem and solving and creating the business solution is the good step. So it can avoid ununiform and impulsive actions. Exemptions provide better yardstick for judging the result, help for the objective performance appraisal. நம்ம தவறு என்னன்னு கண்டுபிடிச்சிட்டோம்னா அடுத்த தடவை நம்ம அதை திருத்திக்கிட்டு we can able to move towards the business. So these are the advantages of an MBE. Next we'll move on to the disadvantages. What are the main disadvantages? Mean it's only the managers have the power over really important decision. Of course MBO ல வந்து subordinate superiors-க்கு authority இருக்கு, subordinates-க்கு இருக்கு. But MBE ல வந்து only higher level authority, that is the managers alone can able to take over the decisions upon the employees at the lower level. Next, it takes a time to pass the issues to the managers. It is the subordinates only does the mistake. So அந்த informations manager போய் சேர்றதுக்கு அது கொஞ்சம் நேரம் எடுக்குது. அப்படி இருக்கும்போது MBEன்றது டிஸ்அட்வான்டேஜா சொல்றாங்க. சம்டைம்ஸ் இட் மே லீட்ஸ் டு ஃபெயிலியர். ஏன் ஃபெயிலியர்னு சொல்லும்போது அந்த கம்யூனிகேஷன்ஸ் இருக்கு பார்த்தீங்களா, சபார்டினேட்ல இருந்து ஹையர் அத்தாரிட்டிக்கு போய் சேரும் போது ஃபால்ஸ் கம்யூனிகேஷன்ஸ் கூட போய் சேரலாம். ஸோ இட் டேக்ஸ் time to pass the issues and managing the employees who deviates from the normal procedure because of the complaints failures are considered difficult to manage and typically find themselves with the limited duties and ultimately are dismissed or terminated. Of course that is if the employees does the work wrongly means அதாவது சொல்லி அவங்க திருந்திக்கிட்டாங்கன்னா okay, but if it goes wrong means sometimes employees may be dismissed or terminated. So they are saying this is the disadvantages of MBE. So ரெண்டு விஷயம் disadvantage சொல்றது, MBE ல வந்து மேனேஜர்ஸ்க்கு மட்டும்தான் இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் டிசிஷன்ஸ் எடுக்கிறதுக்கு ரைட்ஸ் இருக்கு. அப்படி இருக்கும்போது எம்ப்ளாயீஸ் லோயர் லெவலில் இருக்கிற டிமோட்டிவேட் பண்றாங்க. அதே மாதிரி இங்க லோயர் லெவல்ல வந்து ஹையர் லெவலுக்கு போய் சேரும்போது இன்ஃபர்மேஷன் மேபி ஃபால்ஸ் இன்ஃபர்மேஷனாகவும் இருக்கலாம், அப்போ தவறுதலாக டிசிஷன் எடுக்கவும் இருக்கு. அது மட்டும் இல்லை, if the decisions are solved personally means okay, if not அப்படின்னா அந்த எம்ப்ளாயை டிஸ்மிஸ் பண்ணவும் டெர்மினேட் பண்ணவும் they have the every rights. ஸோ அப்படி பார்க்கும்போது they are saying this is the biggest disadvantages of MBE. So I think we are completing this chapter with the MBE concept. In this chapter we have learned about the concept of MBO, management by objectives and management by exemptions. Common thing we have noted it about the process, advantage, disadvantages of both. We have seen this. I think we are completing this chapter. Students, please note down all the key points in your commerce note so that you can able to refer for further references. No, don't just listen this video alone. Make a note of all these key points and follow this chapter. Don't always depend upon the book back questions. The creative questions are also available inside it. So you have to read line by line to do this work properly. Thank you.